So I'm back at school. I'm still in school right now, even though everybody's gone on spring break. Well, everybody is getting litty as a titty in Cabo, Rocky Point, Florida. I'm here in a podcast room whispering to a mic. But honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. I've had my fair share of experiences in Mexico. I got messy, I had a good time, and I think I've lived it out. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that like I wouldn't love to be in Mexico right now, but like I'm trying to be more financially stable. I'm trying to get on top of my schoolwork before graduation because I'm about to enter the real world. The real world, bitch. Do you think I know what I'm doing? No, not at all. So yeah, I'm just here. I'll be here for spring break, but don't get me wrong. I'm still gonna be getting lit. We have a week left. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be doing my homework during the day, but like, it's my last spring break, baby. I'm gonna have some fun. You know what I mean? But anyways, I thought I would just do another like version of I tried ASMR at school because I be checking those YouTube analytics, and a lot of people search I try ASMR. So even though I already tried it twice now, I'm gonna put that in the title because clicks, baby. I'm trying to get that traction. You know what I mean? Anyways, so I have some tea to update you guys on. If you watched my last video, I mentioned that I went to a sushi restaurant and I thought the waiter was really cute. So I left my number on the receipt and he ended up texting me and we did end up going out. We went on a date. And I hate to report back that we just did not have any chemistry. He was a really nice guy. He took me out to lunch, brunch, whatever you want to call it. We got some food. We talked for like 2 hours. But there was just like no chemistry between us. And I think we're just kind of very like different people. Also, he looked completely different without a mask. I was a little shook. But yeah, he was very, very nice. So I'm not going to sit here and like shit talk somebody because he was very nice. And he had like a really good heart, I could tell. But, there was just no like initial attraction there. Like the attraction wasn't there as much anymore. And at one point he told me that he could like look over my resume and help me find a job. And I was like, damn, I literally feel like I'm on an interview right now. Like, now, this is not what I want. This is a date, you know what I mean? And then after the date, he asked me if I wanted to like get on the back of his bicycle and go back to his place. And I was like, I'm gonna have to decline on that one. So, but honestly, that's just my luck, You win some, you lose some. I got, dating experience is experience. Any dating experience is still experience. So, like, I don't regret it. It was a funny story, I guess. But, yeah, that's all that really happened between me and this man's. If there ain't chemistry, don't push it, you know what I mean? Yes, that's all my tea that, like, I have to catch you up on. But I thought it would be kind of a funny experience because while we're, like, spilling tea, you know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you guys about the time that I almost got kicked out of ASU. I know a lot of my new subscribers are here solely for the ASMR, so like I want to give you the real tea, like the tea that I would give my normal subscribers, Okay, so basically, yeah, I almost got kicked out of ASU freshman year. I was living in the dorms. I was living in Agave. It's one of the best dorms, and I had met a bunch of friends on my floor, and they were gonna go to another dorm and smoke, drink, whatever. And this was the first weekend of college. Like, I had been in college for a week, and it was the first weekend, so I was like, I was very much like fresh meat. Okay, I had no idea what I was doing, but also I was living a crazy, chaotic life because I had no rules, no parents to watch after me, so I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go wild. So basically, a bunch of my friends had gone to the pool to go swimming, and the other half of my friends went to a dorm room to go play poker and drink. And initially I went to the pool and I ended up getting bored, so I went with my one friend. ASMR name. Slim Thick. Okay, so me and Slim Thick. Just kidding, I would not give him that name. Why don't I'll just name him Sammy, okay? So Sammy and I, were like, you know what, we're kind of bored at the pool. Let's go see what our homies playing poker are doing. So we go to the dorm room, and right as we walk in, it is, first of all, loud as fuck. There's probably like 10 dudes in there. They're all screaming because they're playing poker, and they're all drunk because they've been drinking hella beer. Okay. And at this time, I was aware of my gluten intolerance, but I didn't give a fuck, so I was like, I'll drink beer. So we walk in, and immediately one of them hands us like a Bud Light, and they were like, here, go ahead. And the room was so packed with people because there was like 10 dudes playing poker that we just ended up sitting on the floor because there was no space for us to sit. So we're sitting on the floor. I took maybe a sip of my beer, and we were just like talking, chatting, whatever. And mind you, the rest of the people were pretty drunk because they'd been there for like 2-3 hours, and so, you know, they were on one, you know what I mean? And at this time we were all, and everybody in there was a freshman, so not trying to like expose any of us, but like what we were doing was probably not legal, you know what I mean? And we were in a dorm, like it's a dry campus, so anyways, so we're sitting there, me and Sammy like take maybe a sip of our beer, and we hear a knock at the dorm. So immediately the person who lived at the place ran to the door and looked through the people and was like, oh shit, it's a CA. He was like, everybody go hide. I'm not kidding, their room probably had like over 50 beer cans scattered throughout. Like their room was covered in beer cans, like empty, full, you name it. Like they were just everywhere. So everyone is scrambling to get rid of all the evidence, you know. And me and Sammy were like, we haven't even been here for 5 minutes. Like, what's going on? So Sammy and I run to the bathroom, and we have our like beer in hand, and we hid our beer above the toilet in a little cabinet. So we're sitting there, and we're trying to listen to what the CA is saying because we're in the other room hiding in the bathroom. And basically what happened was, so they let the CA inside, and these hoes were obviously drunk, so they were not on their A game when it came to cleaning up the evidence. And she sees a can of beer, and so we hear her yell out. She says, well, I see there's a can of beer, and like, now that I see that you have an open container in your room, this is a dry campus, you have to let me in. So she walks in, and she tells everybody that whoever is in this room needs to come out now, because they had found the beer. They were like, if you were in this room hiding, you need to come out now, or there will be like further consequences, whatever. So we were like, shit. One of the dudes had a pill bottle filled with grass, if you know what I mean. I don't know if I can say the word, but it rhymes with Thneed, you know, like off of the Lorax. You know, you get my drift, okay? He had grass in his fucking pill bottle, okay? And this dummy, right when the CAs walked in, right when they opened the door, to check, right when the person who owned the room, like, opened the door for the CAs to come in, the dude with the grass opens the bottle and throws the grass behind the couch instead of just putting the bottle in his pocket. Like, in what world does that make sense? The CA sees this man throw the grass behind the couch, and she was like, well, what was that? And he goes, what was what? She goes, I literally just saw what you threw behind the couch. What was that? And he just played dumb the entire time. So she looks behind the couch and sees that he just threw a bunch of grass behind the couch. And she then said, okay, well, now that we see that you have grass in the room, we have to call the police. So me and Sammy are like literally shitting our pants. This is our first weekend at college. We were both like very much goody two. Oh, that could be a good trigger. No, but like we were very much goody two shoes in high school. We didn't drink, we didn't go out, so we were like, of course, the first weekend in college, we're going in the slammer, like we're out of here. So they they called the police. The police showed up and they said that we were all going to be breathalyzed. So I was shitting my actual pants. I know that I've said that many a times, but at this time, I'm for real. I was shitting myself, okay? So one by one, they took us out into the hallway and breathalyzed us. And it was so humiliating because there was students walking by in the hallway. But anyways, so they're taking us out one by one, getting all of our names, IDs, whatever. And then the cop looks at me and he's like, all right, you're next. So I was like, okay, Mom, I love you. I'm so sorry. I was literally like praying in that moment, like, please let me blow a 0. And so, sorry, I got some in my eye. These fucking spider lashes be, cause me temporary blindness throughout the day, but it is what it is. Anyways, I go out into the hallway and the cop looks at me, and honestly, I'm gonna be real, the CAs were assholes, like the biggest assholes I have ever met, especially the girl. She was so rude, and like, I don't usually say that somebody's an asshole, but they were on such a power trip, and they were so excited to bust these little freshmen for drinking and smoking. Also, just a FYI, none of us knew that me and Sammy and half the people there didn't know that this dude had grass. So we were stunned to find out that the cops were going to be called, because we were like, bro, you're calling the cops on us for beer? And they were like, no, we're calling the cops because of the grass behind the couch. So we were stunned. Anyways, they pulled me out into the hallway, and the cop looks at me and he was like, honestly, the cop was very nice. Really nice guy. Kind of looked like Paul Blart, but like the bald version, you know what I mean? And he looked at me and he was like, did you have anything to drink? And I was like, well, I had two options. I could sit there and I could lie and be like, no, I didn't drink anything, and then blow something and be like, bitch, why did you lie to me? Or I could just tell the truth, face the consequences. Maybe I'll blow a 0, maybe I'll blow above. But like, I was not willing to take that risk of lying to a cop in that moment when I was already in deep shit. So I was just like, yeah, I had maybe like a sip or two. And he's like, okay. Gave me the breathalyzer. I blew into it. He turned that sucker around and it read 0. So I was tweaking. I was like, oh my god, thank God. And honestly, he was really nice because he didn't even say anything. He just like turned it around, looked at me, smiled, and then he's like, you're good. And I was elated in that moment. I was like, this is the best moment of my life. Like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. Thank you, whoever is up in the stars right now, because y'all just saved my ass from having to go back home to Montana. So then they bring my friend Sammy out to get breathalyzed, and Sammy comes back in and he goes, bitch, I blew a 0. So Sammy and I are on like cloud 9 because I was like, oh my god, we just dodged a bullet. And we ended up finding out that everybody who was in that room prior, every single one of them blew above 0 except for one other guy. So me, Sammy, and the other guy were free to go. This was the part that was kind of corny as fuck now that I think back to it, because they were really trying to scare us. But the CAs were like, okay, well, if you blew a 0, you're free to go. Like, you can leave, but you will be hearing from housing, and there will be consequences that you'll have to face, blah, blah, blah. And then the cops go, okay, yeah, you guys are good to go. Anybody who blew above, you are under arrest. And we were like, what? It was really dramatic. Like, they didn't put anybody in cuffs, but like, I think they just said that to scare us, or to scare the people who like blew above a 0. The only person who ended up actually being arrested and like taken was the dude with the grass. But everybody else just had like court dates and they had to go, and yeah, I don't even know what they had to do, but it sounded messy, sounded not fun. So anyways, me and Sammy were free to go, and the other dude, so we left the dorm like we were on a high, and not even because of the grass. I don't smoke grass, I really don't, but we were like, it was was the best feeling ever, knowing that we were not going to get in trouble. And then a week later, we get a email from housing. We had to meet with the housing director and talk about our actions and why they were bad. And then we had to write a paper on why drinking alcohol on a dry campus is bad. And I had to rewrite that thing 3 times because the housing director was such a I don't even know how to explain this dude, but he was just like sneaky, and like I got a bad vibe from him. He had this whole persona where he was like, oh, I'm your friend, like I'm looking out for your best interest, blah blah blah. And then he would completely like shit on us through email and be like, this essay is not sufficient, blah blah blah, like. And then so I had to rewrite the essay like 3 times because it wasn't good enough. But it's literally me repeating the same thing, saying, I will not drink alcohol. I am not a leader if I drink alcohol. It was so stupid. This is where the housing director fucked up, and I know he did, and he knows he did, but he would not admit it. Each of us were assigned an online course on the dangers of drinking alcohol or smoking grass. Mind you, none of us knew that that guy had grass in the room. So every single person in that room, I find out, got assigned the alcohol class on the dangers of drinking alcohol, and I got assigned the grass class. Why was I assigned the grass class? I was not even smoking grass. So I emailed him and I was like, I think I was assigned the wrong course. Like, first off, I blew a 0. I had no sort of like substance in my body. Second, I didn't even know there was grass in the room, so why am I being assigned this? And all he said was, I assigned this. He used like these big ass stupid ass words, and he was like, I assigned the sanction that I found best fit for this situation. I was like, bitch, admit you fucked up and you gave me the wrong class, because then I had to take a 3-hour class on the dangers of grass when I don't even smoke grass. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, Gary? That class was also $150, which I was not excited to take out of my bank account. But yeah, that's all I got. I got a write-up. It was not put on my permanent record, but it's on my ASU record, so anybody who like works at ASU could see it. But like my employers are not gonna see it. I mean, my employers could see this, but you know, I think it's funny now, and like I've told my parents about it now that I'm like years past. But in the moment, I was like, I'm not telling my parents until like freshman year is over, especially because it was the first weekend of freshman year. Like, are you kidding me, girl? I was really trying to give my mom a heart attack with that one, but yeah. So that's my tea about how I almost got kicked out of school the first week of school. Don't do what I did, or do what I did and, you know, face the stupid ass consequences that whatever school has to like give you. Actually, no, I am not condoning that. But have fun, you know what I mean? Have fun responsibly. What you should take away from this story, though, is have fun responsibly off campus, okay? Because that was just a whole load of shit that I had to deal with. And, yeah, it was a fun time. It was such a fun time, but now that I've exposed myself, don't tell nobody, okay? This is just for us, the ASMR homies. I feel like I can be more, like, open with the ASMR people because there's only going to be, like, a select few who listen to this. And, I don't gotta worry about exposing myself to like my peers or anything, because trust me, my friends and my family are not listening to this. My mom tried and she got very uncomfortable. So yeah, that's all the tea I have for this week. But I so badly want to get fake nails and do like some scratching ASMR, or just like some scratching on a surface, because to me that is so relaxing. Like no talking, just scratching. So maybe I will get some fakies, throw them on my nails. I just can't get acrylics because I work in like with food, and so like I can't, you know what I mean? But that is it for me exposing myself. I'm trying to think of anything else embarrassing or funny that's happened this week, but like literally every second of my life is embarrassing or funny, so like I'm gonna have more tea to update you guys on. But thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around with this ASMR channel. I need to invest in one of these mics because I'm sick of having to come to see you soon with another ASMR video because guess what? I'm hooked. I am so hooked on this shit. Bye, guys.